Gossip isn't a personality flaw. It isn't a sign of immaturity or a lack of discipline. It is one of the most sophisticated survival tools your species ever developed. And the people who were best at it didn't just thrive, they outlived everyone who wasn't. What you call gossip, evolution calls infrastructure. But to understand why, you have to go back to before language existed, back to a time when your ancestors weren't talking at all. Chimpanzees spend roughly 20% of their waking day grooming each other, picking through fur, removing parasites, running fingers along the skin of another animal in slow, deliberate strokes. It looks like hygiene. It isn't. What grooming actually does is release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in both animals simultaneously. It builds trust, it signals alliance, it says, I am with you, you are safe with me. Primates who groom more have stronger social bonds. They get more support in conflicts, they eat better, they live longer. In a group where power determines access to food and safety, knowing exactly who your allies are isn't a comfort. It's a survival calculation. But grooming has a hard limit. You can only groom one animal at a time. Most primates live in groups of 20 to 50 animals, precisely the number you can keep up with through daily physical contact. Then something happened with humans that happened with no other animal on Earth. Our groups got bigger, much bigger, and our grooming time didn't scale to match. There aren't enough hours in the day to physically bond with 150 people. So we found another way. In the 1990s, a British anthropologist named Robin Dunbar noticed something strange while studying primate brain sizes. Across hundreds of species, the size of the neocortex, the part of the brain responsible for complex thought, correlated almost perfectly with the average social group size. Bigger brain, bigger group. But humans were a severe outlier. Dunbar's conclusion was one of the most counterintuitive ideas in the history of anthropology. We didn't evolve big brains to think. We evolved big brains to keep track of each other. Specifically, to track the web of relationships, alliances, betrayals, reputations, debts, and loyalties inside a large social group. And the mechanism we evolved to do that maintenance, the replacement for physical grooming across large distances and large numbers, was language. More specifically, it was talking about other people. Gossip is grooming at scale. Where a chimpanzee builds trust by picking through fur, a human builds trust by sharing information. Who can be relied on? Who lied last season? Who helped during the drought? Who took more than their share? In a tribe of 150 people, knowing the social landscape accurately was the difference between forming the right alliances and being left isolated when things went wrong. Researchers studying the Kung San of the Kalahari found that a significant portion of daily conversation was devoted to what we'd call gossip, stories about absent members of the group. Who did what? Who behaved badly? Who stepped up? The function wasn't entertainment, it was record keeping. A continuously updated social database. Dunbar found that 65% of all human conversation across cultures, across ages, across contexts is gossip. Not news, not abstract ideas, not plans, people. And that number doesn't change much, whether you're observing conversation in a university cafeteria, a village in rural Tanzania, or a break room in a Chicago office building. The content changes, the function doesn't, because your brain is still running the same program it was running 200,000 years ago, still tracking who is reliable, who is dangerous, who owes a debt, who might be an ally in a conflict you can't predict yet. The fact that the conflict is now about a promotion rather than a territory dispute doesn't change what your brain is doing underneath.
This is also why gossip feels good, not guilty good, actually good.
Sharing social information triggers mild reward responses. Receiving it does too. Your brain is paying you for doing something it has always needed you to do. And the more emotionally significant the information, a betrayal, a hidden kindness, a fall from status, the stronger the response. Gossip isn't just about bonding. It's also about policing. Every social group has norms. Don't take more than your share. Don't lie about where you found food. Don't abandon someone in a crisis. These norms only hold if violations have consequences, and in a pre legal world with no courts, no contracts, and no police, the only enforcement mechanism was reputation. Gossip was the enforcement system. It was the court and the jury and the sentence all at once. A person whose reputation was destroyed by accurate gossip could be excluded from food sharing, from alliance, from protection. In the ancient world, that exclusion was a death sentence, delivered without a single act of violence. This is why humans respond so viscerally to being gossiped about negatively. Your brain doesn't register social rejection as an inconvenience. It registers it as a mortal threat, because for most of human history, it was. And here's the modern collision. Social media is gossip infrastructure at planetary scale. Every platform, at its core, is a system for sharing information about people who aren't in the room. What took weeks to travel through a tribe of 150 people now travels through a network of millions in minutes. The same system that kept tribes honest and cohesive for 200,000 years, at that new scale, becomes something else entirely. Your brain didn't evolve for that. It evolved for a group of 150. The feelings are the same. The stakes are the same as far as your nervous system is concerned. But the blast radius is completely different. So the next time you catch yourself talking about someone who isn't in the room, or reading about them, or watching a video about something they did, understand what's actually happening. You're not wasting time. You're not being shallow. You're running a 200,000-year-old social mapping program that built civilizations, enforced fairness, and kept groups of humans alive long enough to eventually produce the world you're living in now. The problem was never the gossip. The problem is that the village got very, very large, and nobody told your brain.